Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be listening to a little bit of an underground release, one that isn't, getting a lot of focus online, but I have heard some people shout this one out specifically for those who are into kind of like that old school kind of abstract hip-hop from the 2000s, especially that of like an MF Doom or even a Ka, for example. And that is, of course, the brand new Preservation and Gabe Nandez LP, Sortilège. This one just came out about a month or so ago. I wanted to get around to it, but of course did not until now. So with that in mind, this album is a 14-track, 39-minute LP. And that means that, like a MF Doom album, for example, a lot of the tracks here are really quick, most of them reaching about 2 minutes on average, with some if we're lucky, hitting that 4-minute mark. But for the most part, these seem like they're going to be quick, direct sort of tracks that are very much in that typical kind of drumless, abstract hip-hop lane. I'm completely unfamiliar, though, I will say, with both Preservation as a producer and Gabe Nandez as a rapper on here. So this will be completely fresh, but that's kind of why I wanted to check it out, was because it seems like it might be something up my alley, and I'm always welcome to discovering a new artist. So without further ado, let's get into the first track here, Harmanhattan. Is that Harmattan? 47 seconds, a quick one, just an opener to things. Lovely album art. Album art clearly mimicking, or I should say the music mimicking the art here. Feels like we are somewhere in the east. Alright, just a tone setter. Let's go into Spire. Oh. Like this kind of cinematic open. The crackles of a record as well. A classic hip-hop element.
Fork in the road, you got an option. You stop walking, might start popping like Robert Johnson. Playing possum with souls, paying you out of pocket. You can't
give this a pause.
Start robbing like Charlie Bronson.
If you told me this was MF Doom, I'd believe you. Vocally, and even lyrically so far, but vocally, feels very much in the same vein of MF Doom.
Gotta think for hoes, I definitely got a problem. Very little clothes in public, she going shopping. She do the things that I say subtle, don't play in that fake puddle or stay in the mud caked as I skate in that space shuttle. Skateboard through traffic, learning.
Incredibly smooth delivery on these double entendres throughout here. Love the flow.
Africans worshiping European Bugattis. Basilisk in the terror dome, hissing and snapping. Black magic, fashion, a fabric, or what'll happen. Love is tragic, in my experience, never worked. If it's not supposed to, I
love how grimy the beat is.
My shorty always barely big, seen the same shit from both sides of the coin flip, bitch.
Love the delivery, the flow, the cadence.
Stand out here and they listen.
An incredible grimy beat as well.
They out there waiting.
Let's go into Shadow Step. I'll pick things up a little bit. Love how much this eases in from track to track. The transitions are pretty seamless.
We don't give a fuck about anything but respect. When I say we have any instrumental, my written's black on scratch. Burning the pack down.
Love the way he emphasizes some of these words, the way they kick it off.
She got hit with life in the penitentiary trying to live. She told me she was surprised my intensity kind of big. Told her, how would you describe what is destiny to a kid? I mean, like sooner or later.
Love the very stream of consciousness delivery as well. Again, very MF Doom focused. Even similar to maybe a Bailey Woods.
Unless you can think till you bend the tip of the spoon.
Very similar to that previous track, like a great sense of flow. The beat maybe not as varied or as interesting, I would say, as Spire there. little bit more repetitive in its focus. But it works for just how kind of non-stop the delivery is. Let's go into the next track here. Moisa. Love that gradual shift again. Didn't even catch the transition. I like this slow drum beat sliding in. Skipping the thick rope, fitness, sneakers on the barefoot shit. I kick his. Love how the beat is slower, but so is his vocal delivery. It feels more kind of down tempo and almost depressive. Roundhouse tricks for the headless, 4 a.m. handball court, shadow boxing, almost like he's struggling to get the phrases out. Train every day, hey, I'm in this rap, burning Lucy's bomb, I built it from my 5th pack, working out my this is very chill and meditative. Love that sample, the vocal sample. Fruit bats hanging from the rooftop. So fuck the news, I tell the future and it told me not to stop. Pinky twisted in the knot, hold me down, keep it locked. Love the sluggish delivery here, just hit the booth like it's confession. Yeah, I do that very like thick on it. You can go and Google all my props, good prophecy of pain. Word of mouth has got a 6-pack. As the pillars of the Coliseum whiz back. Love that piano slip too. Just great arpeggio up. I like the way this one took its time a little bit more. It wasn't as a quick one verse like the last 2 tracks were. And I love that female sample there.
Chairman of the New York State Athletic Commission, Randy Gordon, have some thoughts about.
Let's go into, what is this, bassinet?
Skate on the demo like Vladimir Tarasenko, need a ballerina to tweak like Valentina Shevchenko.
Like, what are these bars? These two, rhyming these 2 names with such ease. Honestly, kind of impressive. Not familiar with what either of them mean. Still, it seems like one's a Peruvian athlete, one's a Russian hockey player, and just rhymed with such ease is mind-boggling.
Play tricks that your heart can't. Try it. 2024. If you lying, they gon' buy it. Balls, 11 strips off of the cactus. I saw God. Used to take a sip off the yak in my car hard. You take it easy, we go hard. When it's time to see.
I love this just like long drawn out ringing, adds a sense of dread to such a grimy beat already. I love these vocal samples too. Again, very kind of Mad Lib and MF Doom focused.
Silver carrots and gold nuggets, light skinned and warm weather but cold blooded. White kids trying to book me with no budget.
Love the steadiness of this percussion too. Surprisingly clean.
Any feelings revealing a weakness in the text. It's the reason I'm keeping my freedom to myself. This the season to start believing in order to help. They are not entitled to anything I project. Catch and release, master and teacher, who's the pet? Sit down, roll over, go fetch. Bring me back my swagger, the jackets is gonna step.
Love that whole verse.
Heads in they inside. Googly eyed rappers see the way I arrive. Pride, love and respect,
oh,
step with
love that
kindness.
horn on that
Some
drop.
crimes would get left behind us.
So slick with
At
it.
the same time, wage war like we in Goma. Different shades of francophone on the continent. Bitch.
This one might be my favorite so far, both beat-wise and vocally. Especially that beat switch at the midway point. It's just a great percussion there. Love that drum sample. Incredible. Love that one in general. I feel like it's just the most direct, hard-hitting one. Here's at Morning Star. Again, a percussion that's a little bit more skittery and rapid. Oh my goodness. Love all the kind of Eastern imagery and references as well we're getting, because it matches the sample work and the production overall, just feeling very Eastern inspired. I'm not sure where Gabe Nandez originates from. However, I would imagine he is perhaps of Eastern descent, but I could be wrong. I'm just assuming here, based off of the references that are feel pretty unique and distinct.
Brown sits tired of trampling by blind man, the wild clansmen broke the law. I fucked the protocol they enforcing.
I feel like we're watching some sort of samurai epic from like the 60s or 50s.
If we go into war, Arjuna racing the chariot on my coat won't take long. Word to the wolf on my necklace. I wore the wool as a guest. Then took a pull off the essence.
Love this chorus too.
I picked the sword as my preference.
It's got almost like a chant-like energy to it.
Word to the wolf on my necklace. That's on the sword on the crest.
Moi, j'entends certaines choses. Vraiment que il y a certaines choses aussi, je les parle aujourd'hui. Enfin, peut-être on se verra plus. Vraiment.
Let's go into track 7 here. Hierophant. With Concept Jackson as a feature. Fortunately, no lyrics on this one. Phenotype, you see the light of the afterlife. You have to fight. Don't believe the hype from the satellites. The sacrifice, the only shield from the black magic strikes. When you observe yourself within, wow, love that flow. Just so direct and nonchalant. Very rapid in the delivery. Zero platitudes in my latitude. I think Concept coming in. Circumstantial dirt don't glorify. On God derives getting mortified. No lie, make your daughter cry. Pill size pop is fortified. A little bit off the wall with his delivery. A little bit more, I want to say, like cartoonish. Love that kind of off-kilter energy he brings.
When a man has a certain fantasy, another man may lose his life.
Let's go into War. That last one was just very quick, very direct. Kind of wish that Bassin a little bit more, to be honest.
You will feel fear. You will feel happiness. You will feel regret. You will
Captain
feel
Ryan B.
sadness.
Cohen's Marine speech. Pumping up the troops there.
Semi-automatic rifles, fully loaded clips.
Oh.
Quoted Bible passage, letting off the stick. Atoms melt the plasma, trickling down the sewer pipes.
Love that horn sample and the heaviness of these drums.
Venus and Mercury, sun in retrograde, Michelin tire around the liar's neck with the petrol flame.
I love that imagery there with the Michelin tire and petrol flame.
A-bombs, rockets, grenades, some folks, some murder kids from hell. Yeah, shit was a cakewalk. I'm off for 4 cactuses, cracking the 8th wall.
Kind of reminds me more of MF Doom's alter ego, Victor Vaughn, with just how kind of edgy, Gabe here seems to be on some of these lyrics, but also just has like a darker, more brooding energy as well, similar to that of a Victor Vaughn, who was a little bit more just like off the handle with his flows. Oh, Billy Woods coming in? Didn't even know he was on this one.
I'm not impressed, but I can admit, once you put them in the ground, everybody's spirits lift. Funny how that works. A feature, not a bug.
Certainly a call to action
When
here.
all y'all really needed was a hug. Niggardly. Lobby of the dance board is still no mercy. Jonah in the belly of an AC-130.
Love that horn sample that really carries just that moving energy of the beat.
Chloroform on my pillow, best sleep I ever had.
Love that final line, chloroform on the pillow, best sleep I ever had. I feel like Billy Woods, unsurprisingly, Billy Woods crushed it on that one especially. Loved his verse. I feel like he's easier to catch on at times than Gabe is. I'm not too familiar with his style quite yet to fully click into it, whereas Billy, I'm pretty familiar at this point. And I really liked what he brought to the table. Here's Ball and Chain.
It's unlike
Again, another quick one, only 2.5 minutes this one.
There's not even any words for it to describe it. It's
Mirrors put on appearances, dodge the blame. I didn't hurt you, I switched to perfume and called a plane.
That vocal sample kind of reminds me of something off of some rap songs by Earl Sweatshirt. I can't remember the exact song at the moment, but certainly reminds me of a certain vocal flip there. Would not be surprised if there is a kind of cross section in terms of influences there. Clearly very left leaning in the politics, I would imagine, too, from the lyrics here. Let's go into Nom de Guerre? De Gore? No lyrics for this one either. Again, maybe this release is a little bit too low profile. This feature here, I believe he is speaking, I want to say French, but I don't know. Have fun deciphering that one. I've never heard, I don't think I've ever listened to French rap before, but it's very interesting. You know, I can at least recognize that there seems to be some level of flow there, at least with the beat. Even if it's harder to pinpoint. Interesting, though, as a new listener. Love how spacey some of the production feels too. Maybe like a less is more approach. I think that's Dan here speaking that other language, but man, can't make heads or tails of it. That's for sure. Yeah, not much to say about this one. The beat's a nice hard-hitting beat. Love the way it's a little bit more, you know, less cluttered in the mix.
Are you proud of these words? I'm proud of the words, yes. Not necessarily the deeds.
But let's go into respected calligraphy here.
And you don't stop. Fuck the speed limit, gear shift through roadblocks, stuff the keys in the ignition.
This one's really down tempo. Quite minimal in the production.
Guilty other times was just an innocent black man. Get my thoughts known, there's zero ambiguity, my niggas is all grown. Also, detonate a bomb in the White House. The only
I agree with that.
Even it wiped out. They meet me with resistance, so I greet them with slights now. 11 grade side diesel smoking that white out. Alright, pal, calm the fuck down with that tough shit.
Love that whole verse there, especially too. Once again, a call to action.
They watch too many movies, so the cameras they stuck in. The acid, that shit is for the birds. This shit is for the streets, cause they go it from the curb. Word, and you don't stop to the beat rock on. I'm a sure shot.
A little bit of interpolation there as well.
What medium do you use to create?
Fire, blood, canvas, sound, cement, street, people.
Whatever you could find.
Absolutely, man.
Love that final sample. Maybe a little bit of a, you know, allusion to the producer here, Preservation, using everything to sample. Here's Mondo Kane. This one here. A slew of features on this one. A bit of a posse cut. Bit of a wispy vocal there.
Cashier checks, clear debts, pay dues, a far cry from near death.
Man, the drums here, much more kind of faltering and messy and sporadic. Harder to gauge.
Soon lie, 98 West Bank Labs with Versailles 5, Dome of the Rock, Crusade Paladins in disguise.
It's like if MF Doom had to clear his throat more. I feel like there's such a raspiness in Gabe's vocals. Not sure how I feel about Benjamin Booker, though. He was a bit dated, honestly, upon arrival. Billy Woods comes in quick, short, blunt, to the point. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, this is elusive. Love these quick bursts. Very interesting delivery from Elucid. Is that how it's pronounced? Love how just like quick and blunt some of those lines were. Some of these lines as short as 2 words long. Really leads into a quick sort of fiery delivery, despite being a bit more sluggish in cadence and flow. Let's go to track 13. It's gonna be Kurtz on this one. Oh, I like the way this instrumental's going as we segue.
Perfect.
I feel like we're going deep to like a jungle with this mix.
Crystal.
And that's what's important. Nothing's ever a dub. If it's lost, then it's transformed. Shout out my nigga Cali, I tell ya I'm hands on, strong, move like the predator, stand tall.
Not much to say about this one. I like the laid back beat. I love the synth sliding in here. Gabe kind of just does his thing. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about him still. You know, a full album in. Kind of what I expect from an abstract lyricist, but isn't necessarily standing out too much for me.
Unconcerned with how they shoot me from the bar. Mark my words, all of my pain will pay off.
Let's go into Lotus Flower to close it out. I honestly do think Preservation on the production is the key standout.
When the time is up, and atoms break apart, unravel, falling arrows through the rim. Marry me a G, resurrect me as an artifact. Crucify myself to find a way to write a song to rap.
Love that bar though, I will say, you know, once in a while.
Lotus flower closing in on space and time, the stars collapse. Universe is folding into envelopes to hatch.
Love how he seems to be really digging deep into his own sort of artistry and really challenging, wondering if he's still able to make it. But still has a sense of hope to it.
Close lotus flower giving birth to origin, the black.
Only the strong survive. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. You better believe it.
World in this land.
That's right. And that's no lie.
You're gonna push ahead of them, huh?
Watch me. Watch me. Watch me.
And that closes it out for Lotus Flower and Sortilège by Preservation and Gabe Nandez. I gotta say, you know, I went into this one with, you know, some pretty high hopes. I feel like, given the fact that there's some clear MF Doom influences on this one, given the fact that I saw a lot of, or I at least heard some of these, you know, loose snippets here and there from the beat, at least online, I was certainly interested in checking this one out. But as it closes out, I do find myself a little disappointed. You know, I loved what Preservation did. I feel like from beginning to end, his sample work, his production choices, especially as well, really stand out. I do feel like he is, you know, in the same vein maybe as, you know, a Madlib, for example, or an MF Doom when he was going obviously as Metal Fingers, and really just, you know, a lot of people in the abstract hip hop scene, you know, some of what Earl Sweatshirt, for example, does as well as a producer. But, you know, aside from Preservation, Gabe Nandez, don't get me wrong, a talented lyricist. Don't love his flow. I feel like at this point we've kind of heard this style done so many times before that it does feel a little played out. I do like the Eastern influence that is taken on here, both in the lyrics as well as the production, feeling very Eastern leaning. Feels like we are, maybe coasting along some sort of feudal Japan era. I do really enjoy that aspect. I think there's a really distinct style and image that comes out through it. Unfortunately, I just don't find myself that intrigued by what Gabe is really offering up here as a lyricist. I feel like, we've heard it many times before, and when the features came in, especially Billy Woods, and even Elucid, I would say, kind of out-rap Gabe on those tracks. And after those tracks especially, I did find myself, as the record went on, liking it less and less. I wasn't a huge fan of what was brought to the table there, but I will say, production's fantastic. Sounds very crisp and clean. Love the kind of warmth that comes with it. Love the vocal samples that are brought into the mix as well, kind of musing maybe on art and really just like the meanings of life in the same way I would expect a lot of Eastern films to really dive into. But aside from that, I'm a little mixed on this record. Maybe I'll give it more listens. I mean, I will, and we'll see how it grows in time. But for now, I am pretty middle of the road with this one, and I was kind of expecting a little bit something more bold and just kind of, I guess, bombastic and interesting and distinct. But even still, clearly there's a lot of talent within Gabe, and I will be following along to see if he puts out anything in the future that is of note. But I do think this is an interesting breakthrough into what seems to be the underground rap scene. But that does it for today's video. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe to follow along listening to more albums alongside myself, new, old, classic, what have you. We're doing it all here on the channel. Check the Patreon down below for $5 a month. You get all my videos from this year completely unedited. But other than that, that does it for the video. My name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.